On September 20, Archangel Michael cries out again. You ignored too many warnings. This was meant to be your most blessed day, but you have only 2 minutes left to claim it. September 20, Archangel Michael cries out again. His voice breaks across the threshold of dawn, not in anger but in piercing urgency. A cry not heard by the masses, not broadcast by the earth, but thundered through the corridors of the unseen realm. It is pre-dawn, the hour when most are still tangled in dreams, unaware of the realm's rising shift. But in the heavens, something has already stirred. The books are open. The timekeeper has struck a divine alert. The day marked long ago as blessed is now at risk of becoming barren. It was meant to be a turning point, a door, wide and golden, flung open for your inheritance to arrive. But interference has come. Distraction, delay, denial. Your attention has been seduced by lesser things. And now, only 2 minutes remain. Michael, the warrior angel, the defender of the scrolls, the one who commands armies, pierces the silence. His cry is not one of war, but of warning. He cries not just to the earth, but to you, specifically, prophetically, directly. This message is not for all. This moment is not for every ear. Only those whose spirits have felt the strain, whose nights have turned restless, whose eyes have welled with silent tears, only you will recognize this call. Only the chosen will feel the chill wind that follows his cry, the tingling sensation along your arms, the whisper that says, "This is it." You were warned before, through dreams, through delays, through whispering numbers on clocks and phones and receipts. But you ignored them. Life was too loud. Time too fleeting. But now, heaven has paused for you again. Not to shame, but to offer one final mercy, 2 minutes. 2 holy, weighty, decisive minutes. You must enter stillness. You must silence everything else, the screen, the voices, the spinning mind. For 2 minutes, you must obey. Not because heaven needs your silence, but because your destiny does. Grief lingers in Michael's voice. Grief for the lost days, the missed signs, the doors that were opened and left unattended. But there is also fierce hope, a divine defiance, because even now, a window remains. Lose this moment, and the blessing is delayed. Claim it, and restoration begins. The air itself responds, a sudden gust through the trees, a sound like ringing in the ear, a flicker of light just beyond vision. These are not accidents. They are signs that the cry had been released. Be still now. Prepare to listen. Prepare to respond. You have 2 minutes. Loving more. Nothing less. Type "I receive this DAY" in the comments if you hear this cry. Blessing code 911 is now activated. Listen, now. If you are still breathing, if your heart is beating and your soul is trembling, this word is for you. Not by chance, not by scrolling, not by accident. This is a divine interruption. This is the sacred second between sleep and awakening, where heaven crashes through the veil and says, "Enough. Now it is time." Archangel Michael, the chief warrior of heaven, the guardian of the heavenly host, the angel who warred against the dragon in the book of Revelation, has sounded his cry again. And this time, the cry is not just a trumpet. He is a lifeline. He cries at the edge of time, September 20, just before the sun splits the darkness. This hour has always belonged to heaven. And in this hour Michael does not raise his sword, he raises his voice. And when the voice of a heavenly commander echoes through your atmosphere, the spirit must respond. His voice is fire. His voice is wind. His voice is a sudden crack of thunder within your chest. This cry is both rebuke and rescue, both correction and covenant. He does not condemn you. No, he comes to recover what you almost forfeited. His voice booms. You ignored too many warnings. But still, the Father has made room for one more chance. He does not speak to the crowds. He speaks to the remnant, those who feel the pressure behind their eyes, who have carried silent burdens and warfare no one else sees. This is for those who felt time slipping, favor fading, connections breaking. You knew something was off. You sensed the drift. The signs came. Repeated numbers, still dreams, strange delays, unexplainable conflict. And still, you hesitated. You procrastinated. You did not listen. But heaven has not turned away. Instead, Michael now calls out again, one last time. Boz. Rian. You have 2 minutes. This is not poetic metaphor. This is spiritual timing, sacred, specific, non-negotiable. By the second bell, by the stretch of light over the horizon, your response must be given. Do not look around. Do not wait for confirmation from another person. Do not delay. The cry has come to you. You alone. Stop. Now. Stop scrolling. Stand still. Kneel if you must. Place your hand over your heart. Close your eyes. Feel the weight of the moment. This is not emotionalism. This is divine alignment. For 2 minutes, silence everything. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let your thoughts fall like weapons at your feet. Let your mind come into submission. Let your spirit open wide. This is not human counsel. This is not motivational speech. This is not hype. This is the sound of heaven interrupting your cycle of delay. The cry of Michael is not for your entertainment. It is for your escape. Escape from cycles. Escape from confusion. Escape from spiritual amnesia. If you say yes in these 2 minutes, the doors begin to open. The room will not change. The air will not shift. But something eternal will. Something written in the scroll. Something hidden in the chambers of heaven. A record will show that you responded, that you heard, that you obeyed. And the doors, long sealed, begin to tremble with the first movements of opening. This is your 2-minute warning, not of disaster, but of deliverance. Out of government, but of gusted. Out of belly, not of bad promise. Say yes now. The angel has spoken. The silence must begin. Type I am listening in the comments if this word finds you. Lesson code 333 has now opened your window. There are whispers at the edges, not just of voice but of spirits, of watchers, of alliances made in shadow, of conversations you were never meant to hear, but somehow you felt them in your bones. And now, as September 20 rises like a fragile sun, you feel it again. The unsettling mystery, the spiritual disruption, the eyes watching from the corners of your life. the alliances that were hidden in smiles, the betrayals that wore the robes of friendship, the sacred that was pawned for convenience, the holy that was handed over for temporary comfort. You were not crazy. You were being warned. Sleepless nights were not just stress. They were signals. Stomach knots were not mere anxiety. They were prophetic alarms. Delays. Coincidence. Disruptions. Not random. You felt it, didn't you? When the text came and you hesitated. When the call rang and you ignored it. When the envelope arrived and you left it unopened. These were not ordinary events. These were heaven's subtle cries. But life screamed louder, and the warnings were buried beneath routine, distraction, and spiritual fatigue. Now, in this hour of holy return, the truth rises with sharpness. The people you trusted, some of them, not all, were never carrying your name in the spirit. They were only walking with your shadow, not your substance. They were content with your presence, but resentful of your purpose. They smiled while studying your steps. They clapped when you advanced, only to mimic and mock behind closed doors. Michael's cry is not only a summoning, it is a spotlight. It exposes the mystery. It stirs the unresolved. It brings the spiritual betrayal to the surface. Not to destroy you, but to wake you. And now the Spirit poses questions not for answers, but for awakening. Who spoke in the night when you doubted? Who reached for your oil while you slept? Who turned their face when your name was mentioned? Who rejoiced quietly when your plan fell through? Do not answer too quickly. This is not about naming people. This is about reclaiming your discernment. Not everyone around you was sent to carry your fire. Some were sent to steady it. Some were sent to tame it. Others were simply not sent at all. You invited them because loneliness whispered louder than wisdom. But no more. The unease you feel now confirms your alignment. If your stomach tightens, your breath catches, your heart races, you are the one this message has found. You are part of the remnant that still feels, that still hears, that still trembles before the throne. The mystery was not to torment you, it was to prove that your gift is intact, that your spirit still knows the difference between what is divine and what is merely present. But this betrayal, though real, though painful, is not the end of your story. It was a chapter, not a curse. A marker, not a final sentence. Heaven has allowed it not to shame you, but to train you. Because only those who survive the mystery can carry the mantle. Only those who endure the silence can steward the sound. So here is your reversal moment. Let shame be swallowed by clarity. Let confusion be undone by insight. Hear this now. They know pieces of your story, not the whole. They saw your wounds, but never your war. They witnessed your hesitation, but not your anointing. Let that image burn into your mind. The 2-minute window has now become a mirror that reflects not the betrayal, but the moment of choosing. The moment you rise from the mystery and say, I take it back. My voice, my discernment, my fire. This was mine to carry. Type I take IT back in the comments if this part of the message found you. Blessing code 717 is now circling your spirit. If this message is awakening something deep within your spirit, if these words are breaking chains, and unlocking clarity, you have a divine opportunity to sow back into what's shifting your soul. This isn't just a video. It's a battleground where souls are being reclaimed and mantles are being restored. The Word of God is moving like rivers across this platform, and when you give, you become part of that flow. Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's not just a verse, that's God's personal word over you, right now. I feel it. Someone watching is ready to help this message reach further. Ready to help light reach more screens, more souls, more broken hearts in need of resurrection. Support the mission today through a YouTube Super Thanks membership or directly through PayPal. The link is in the video description. When you give, you're not tipping, you're testifying. You're not donating, you're declaring, let this reach the ones like me. A prophetic blessing is attached to your act of obedience. Your gift is oil, and heaven records it. Give boldly. Sow into breakthrough. This ground is holy. You thought it was just delays, just missed appointments, just strange moods from those you trusted. But heaven pulls back the veil today and reveals what has really been happening in the realm beneath your problems. This is not chaos, it is confrontation. This is not misfortune, it is spiritual warfare. Behind every delay was a siege. Behind every ignored message was a timed distraction. Behind every attack on your confidence was a coordinated whisper from the shadows. The conflict surrounding you has not been personal. It's been prophetic. And what seemed like gossip was actually a spiritual smoke, designed to cloud your discernment and blind your movement. These were not random irritations. These were calculated assignments, targeting your obedience, your boldness, your voice. But hear this truth now. The enemy does not waste energy on what is irrelevant. You are under pressure because you are positioned. The plans formed against you are evidence that your assignment is visible. Heaven has marked you, and hell has noticed. Archangel Michael does not cry out over ordinary days. He only cries when destiny is at risk. And today, September 20, is one of those days. You were born for something far beyond comfort. You were born for convergence. You've been walking through a battlefield and calling it bad timing. You've been experiencing resistance and calling it just life. But the Spirit speaks clearly now. This is war over your window. And the war is over how you respond in this hour. Panic is a setback. Stillness is a strategy. Heaven does not fight in noise. Heaven moves in holy stillness. You must refuse to play the enemy's script. Stop explaining yourself. Stop defending your name. Stop retaliating against those who don't understand you. You are not here to survive their opinions. You are here to obey God's assignment. Silence now becomes your weapon. Obedience becomes your sword. Stillness becomes your shield. You do not fight as others fight. You are not called to chaos. You are called to command. And when Michael stands to cry, he also stands to defend. He stands to war. He stands to release divine justice through the courts of heaven. There is a heavenly map where your case hath been presented. Your delays have been weighed. Your tears have been counted. Your silence has been recorded. Your surrender is not unseen. The archangels are not simply watching, they are interceding. In the courtroom of heaven, where scrolls are unrolled and destinies are debated, your name was spoken. A sword was raised. A decree was issued. Protect the purpose. Deliver the word. Secure the blessing. These were the orders sent with fire. And now, as the cry has reached the earth, you must respond not as a victim of circumstance, but as a citizen of a higher court. Let the delays be seen for what they are, tactics of confusion. Let the betrayals be seen for what they were, distractions from alignment. Let the closed doors be recognized, not as rejections, but reroutes toward the prepared gate. There is nothing the enemy did that heaven did not allow, and now, what heaven allowed, heaven is redeeming. You must now take a posture of spiritual sovereignty. This is not a time to flinch. This is not a time to guess. This is a time to stand still and know that the battle is not yours, it is the Lord's. Michael does not cry without backup. You are not exposed, you are escorted. Angels are encamped. The watchers are awake. The Spirit is near. Let this moment be your turning point. Let your response be strategic. Say nothing unless heaven commands it. Move only when the Spirit gives instruction. Rest as if justice is already working. And above all, guard your atmosphere with reverence. Silence is no longer passive. Silence is your weapon. Use it now. Type "I choose silence" in the comments if this section finds you. Blessing code 4411 is now covering your stillness. There is movement in the atmosphere. Something has shifted. Not tomorrow, not later. Now. What was hidden in shadow is beginning to stir. What was quiet is about to speak. What was concealed behind your waiting season is now preparing to unfold. Archangel Michael's cry was not only a call, it was a signal. A prophetic alert has been dispatched, and now the earth is catching up to what the heavens have already seen. There's a shift. The Spirit whispers again, and it will escalate quickly. What was crawling is about to sprint. What was only spiritual is about to manifest in your natural world. That dream that haunted you last week, that conversation that felt off but you dismissed it, that missed call you didn't return. It wasn't random, it was part of the build-up. Now everything is converging, and the timeline tightens. Within 72 hours, something pivots. But the first move must be made within these 2 minutes. That's how critical this window is. You may feel it already, a strange tightness in your chest, a sudden pressure on your temples, a memory from years ago surfacing out of nowhere. Maybe your phone buzzed without a message. Maybe the air around you feels colder. These are not coincidences. These are spiritual indicators. Heaven is alerting your senses, because what's next cannot be approached casually. There is someone watching you. Someone who thought they buried you spiritually. Someone who assumes your silence was surrender. Someone who mistook your stillness for defeat. And in the coming hours, they will make a move. A message. A visit. A public statement. A private betrayal. Something will be said or done with the intent to steal the authority you are just now regaining. Do not take the bait. Do not respond from emotion. Do not chase down shadows. The Father says, "This is not your fight, it's mine. Stay still, and I will expose them myself." You may receive a letter. You may overhear your name. A meeting may be scheduled that you're not invited to, and yet, it's about you. You may have a sudden prompting to revisit a journal, an old photo, a voice message long deleted. These are holy clues, not to feed your fear, but to increase your awareness. Because when God alerts, it's never without purpose. These details are not paranoia, they are prophetic preparation. And still, not everything can be told to you now. Some things must be discovered in the silence. I cannot tell you everything, Michael declares. You must enter the silence. You must trust what has not yet been spoken. But let this be clear, the cost of inaction is severe. If you remain neutral, if you let this moment pass like the others, the blessing that was assigned for this day will be delayed. The opportunities will not vanish, but they will be suspended. You will wonder why the meeting never happened, why the door didn't open, why the relationship drifted. You will think it was chance. But it was choice, the choice you made by dismissing the divine urgency. This is the hour to be ready. Gather your spirit. Quiet your environment. Write down what you are claiming. Write the names of your children, your business, your calling, your city. Declare, this belongs to God, and I claim it back. Burn the list if you must. Anoint your space. Do something physical to mark this moment. Because this 2-minute decision is the hinge. The next 72 hours will be built upon what you do right now. You are building an altar with your obedience. You are shaping the outcome by your stillness. Do not delay. Do not overthink. Do not consult the fearful. This is your holy warning. Something is moving, and so must you. Type I will move in faith in the comments if this part speaks to you. Blessing Code 2024 is aligning your next 72 hours. Now that you've heard the cry, now that your spirit has recognized the shift, it is time to respond with strategy, not just emotion. Heaven is not only calling you to awareness, it is calling you to activation. What happens in these next moments will determine what is released, what is sealed, and what is protected. This is where your obedience must become physical. Not just thoughts, not just feelings. Action, stillness, intention, alignment. That is how you war in the spirit, not with shouting, but with sacred silence and prophetic posture. The Lord is not asking for your noise. He is asking for your attention, for your obedience in this narrow window of time. So here is what you must do. Right now, wherever you are. If you are seated, stand. If you are walking, stop. If you are distracted, come back. Center yourself. Close your eyes for 2 minutes. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Not shallow breaths, deep, intentional ones. Feel the breath fill your chest, your lungs, your belly. Let it slow your racing heart. Let it anchor you into the now. For the next 2 minutes, the spirit realm is responding not to your noise, but to your surrender. Speak softly, if at all, or say nothing. Let heaven listen to the posture of your heart. Now name it, not out loud, in your spirit. Name the offense. Name the weight you've carried. Name the delay that haunts you. Name the lie you believed. Bring it to the altar. Do not justify it. Do not explain it. Just name it and surrender it. And declare this single line, solely, deliberately. This day returns to me. Say it again. This day returns to me. One more time, louder, with authority. This day returns to me. Now place your hand over your heart and declare it a final time. This day returns to me, and I return to God. This is not superstition. This is not performance. This is spiritual reclamation. For too long, the enemy has stolen your days, scattered your focus, manipulated your seasons. But not today. Not this time. September 20 was marked for blessing. And though it almost slipped from your hands, Michael's cry has opened the window one final time. And now you must protect what remains. Use your body as your altar. Raise your hands. Anoint your forehead. Lay your hands on your own head and declare peace over your thoughts. Go to your doors and windows and close them while praying silently, not in fear, but in dominion. Shut out distraction. Shut out chaos. Shut out every spirit not assigned to your house. Speak these words aloud as a shield. I am sealed. I am seen. I am set apart. The cry of Michael found me. The silence of heaven surrounds me. I claim this day. I protect this moment. I align with God's clock, not man's. Repeat them. Let them wash over your spirit like oil. You may feel warmth. You may feel nothing. But know this, heaven is moving. Even in silence. Even in stillness. Especially in surrender. Do not wait until the next video. Do not wait for another sign. Do it now. The 2-minute window is active. Heaven is watching for your response, not your perfection. Just your willingness. Breathe again. Rest. The war is real. But now, the angels have engaged. The courtroom has been activated. The gate has been opened. And now, peace will come like a whisper in the middle of the storm. Type this DAY returns to me in the comments if you obeyed. Lesson code 5544 is now guarding your atmosphere. Something has broken in the spirit. The sound of surrender has shaken the foundation of what once held you captive. The weight that pressed upon your chest, the fog that blurred your mind, the fear that paralyzed your decisions, it has begun to lift. Because heaven does not ignore obedience. God does not overlook surrender. And Archangel Michael did not cry in vain. Now comes the shift. Now comes the reversal. Now comes the rise. You are no longer what you were. Rise. This is the command now echoing from the throne room. Rise, not with trembling, but with fire. Rise, not in defense, but in dominion. You have crawled long enough. You have begged long enough. You have questioned long enough. The time of dragging your purpose behind you is over. The time of apologizing for your anointing has expired. You are not what they said. You are not what you feared. You are not what the delay suggested. You are the one heaven has waited for, and now your rising becomes a divine announcement. Do not let the pain of yesterday rob you of today's promise. The very thing that scarred you has marked you for mantle. Every wound, every betrayal, every moment of silence has been a holy preparation. Do you not see? The fire that almost consumed you was not for destruction, it was for refining. The ashes you thought were the end are now becoming the soil of new beginnings. What looked like loss was preparation for elevation. You survived not because you were lucky, but because you were chosen. Now see yourself differently. Imagine it clearly. Wings not of fantasy but of truth, unfolding from your back. The dust of delay shaking off your feet. The ashes of old prayers forming a new crown. You are not walking away from your past. You are stepping over it. You are not begging for favor. You are aligned with it. You are not asking to be seen. Heaven has already declared you marked. Declare this now. I rise with fire. I rise with clarity. I rise because heaven called my name. Let your atmosphere hear it. Let the room you're in feel the shift. Let every demon that hovered in confusion now flee in defeat. This moment is not emotional hype. It is divine identification. This is not a motivational word. It is a prophetic awakening. And now, claim it boldly. Name 3 things that have been waiting for you to say yes. Speak them. Speak them even if your voice shakes. Speak them even if your faith is fragile. Speak them because silence is no longer your home. Declare, I receive my restoration. I receive my recompense. I receive my divine routing. Say it again. I receive it. I receive it. I receive it. Others have walked this path before you. Some said yes, and everything changed. A woman laid her hand on her chest, surrendered the bitterness, and the next morning received the call that changed her life. The young man wrote down the lies he believed, burned them in a jar, and within days his dream job opened. A mother fasted for 24 hours after hearing this word, and reconciliation came to her home. Your yes is a seed, and heaven never forgets what you plant in faith. You are not broken. You are being built. You are not forgotten. You are being focused. You are not weak. You are being weaponized for purpose. You are the fire in the remnant. You are the sound in the silence. You are the rising that the enemy tried to prevent. Now, repeat this aloud and with force. I am appointed. I am rising. This day belongs to me. Let the atmosphere adjust to your new identity. Let the warfare back down. Let the heavens respond. The shift has begun, and it will not stop now. Type I am rising in the comments if this moment marks your shift. Blessing code 313 is now igniting your next level. And now comes the unveiling. The scroll begins to open. The mystery that tormented you in the dark now bends toward understanding. The question you kept asking, why did it have to happen this way, is being answered, not with explanations but with revelation. The season was not a punishment, it was a preparation. What you saw as a breakdown was a breaking open. What you assumed was rejection was redirection from heaven itself. You were not being left behind. You were being led into something greater than your understanding could comprehend at the time. This is the divine reason for the cry of September 20. This is why Archangel Michael shouted with urgency. Because this very day was designed to be the pivot, the hour of clarity, the point of spiritual alignment. The trials you endured were not wasted storms. They were divine filters. They purified your motives. They sharpened your vision. They refined your calling. Every delay, every silence, every setback was heaven's way of protecting the seed before it could be stolen. Heaven did not forget you. Heaven hid you. You were concealed not because you were unworthy, but because you were unfinished. And now, after all the pressing, the stretching, the stripping, you are ready to emerge. You are ready to carry what others could not. Ready to rise where others fell. Ready to speak when others remained silent. Ready to build what others abandoned. Now hear this clearly. You are stepping into divine restoration. Time is being returned to you. Opportunities are circling back. Doors you thought were permanently sealed are being reopened, but this time they open to a prepared, matured, appointed version of you. There is a prophetic table being set with your name engraved on the seat. The oil that was denied to you in one room is about to be poured over your head in another. A key is being handed to you, not a physical one, but a spiritual authority that unlocks what's been stuck for years. And beside that key sits a crown, not for status, but for stewardship. Because what's coming is not just for your enjoyment, it's for your assignment. The trial was a test. The warfare was an initiation. The silence was a signpost. And the cry from Michael was your summons into seasonal authority. This is why you had to lose what you lost. This is why certain people had to walk away. This is why the delays had to come. Because what you're about to carry cannot be contaminated with immaturity, bitterness, or distraction. This moment, this very hour, is being watched by heaven. Angels are recording your agreement. Michael's cry with a trumpet. But your yes is the key that opens the next scroll. You may not see all the evidence yet, but the signs will begin to appear. A door opens without effort. A message comes you weren't expecting. A number flashes repeatedly. A name returns. A memory redeems itself. These are heaven's breadcrumbs, leading you toward the fulfillment of what's been hidden in mystery for far too long. And hear this final declaration of revelation. Your name is known. Your tears are recorded. Your obedience has become your weapon. Your timing is now. Say this now with clarity and fire. I receive heaven's revelation. My delay becomes my joy. My pain births my promotion. Type I receive heaven's revelation in the comments if you feel this word unfolding in your life. Blessing code 818 is now pouring divine clarity into your atmosphere. If this revelation has stirred something sacred in you, if your spirit is vibrating with confirmation, if you're saying, "This was for me," then partner with what heaven is doing. When you give, you don't just support a channel. You unlock light for someone else still trapped in darkness. Every super thanks, every membership, every seed sown through PayPal is like oil poured at the feet of God's Word. The rivers are flowing, the scrolls are opening, and your generosity becomes part of that prophetic move. Scripture says, He gives seed to the sower, and that seed, your seed, can break open blessing not just in your life, but in others who will encounter these messages because you gave. I feel it in the spirit. Some of you are not just watchers, you're warriors, and this is your moment to respond boldly. You'll find the PayPal link in the description. You can also sow directly through YouTube by joining as a member or sending a super thanks. And when you do, declare it. I'm sowing into souls. I'm sowing into revelation. Heaven honors this moment. Give as one who knows this ground is sacred. This is your moment of activation. The moment when revelation must turn into response. The cry is go for. The silence has been honored. The veil has been lifted. Now it is time for you to rise from contemplation and step into alignment. Destiny does not wait for your feelings to stabilize. It waits for your obedience to move. What has been hovering over your life, just out of reach, the blessing, the breakthrough, the divine alignment, it will not descend until your yes rises. This is not symbolic. This is not conceptual. This is spiritual architecture. Everything heaven designed for you in this hour is built on your movement. And it begins with a declaration, not one that's long or rehearsed, but one that is holy and specific. Say it aloud. Yes, Lord. I say yes to this day, yes to this moment, yes to the assignment. Don't just whisper it. Let the spirit realm hear it. Let the watchers record it. Let the angels move because of it. Heaven doesn't need a perfection. It needs movement. The activation of destiny is not about doing everything at once. It's about doing the next right thing with spiritual clarity. Alignment isn't a feeling. It's action. It's obedience. It's the refusal to delay any longer. That phone call you've been avoiding, make it. That email you were meant to send weeks ago, send it now. That apology you've held back because of pride, release it. That offering you've postponed giving because of fear, sow it. Heaven opens when faith moves. You don't need to leap a mountain today. You just need to take one prophetic step. Destiny doesn't require dramatic gestures. It requires holy agreement. That's how alignment works. Not with striving, but with surrender. Not with performance, but with precision. Heaven waits for the bold to rise and say, I will obey even when I don't understand. Because faith doesn't demand full vision, it simply requires motion. Write it down. Mark this date, September 20. Let it become your spiritual anniversary, not just of a message you heard, but of a covenant you made. The moment you said, enough delay, enough fear, enough questioning. I will move with God now. Light a candle if you must. Write in your journal. Record a voice note. Use something tangible to seal the unseen. Say these words now. This day has been claimed. This window has been answered. This assignment has been activated. I say yes. Heaven had been waiting for your decision. The angels are positioned. The scrolls have been opened. The blueprint is ready. But nothing moves until you do. Don't say, maybe later. Don't say, when I feel ready. This moment has come with holy precision, and the weight of this timing is real. You are not watching by accident. You are being summoned on purpose. Say yes to your voice. Say yes to your calling. Say yes to the hard things. Say yes to the silent things. Say yes to the next step. Because when you move, you're not just shifting your own life, you're shifting the lives tied to your obedience. There are souls waiting on the other side of your yes. This day is not just a message, it is a mandate. Declare it again. I move in faith. I act in obedience. I activate my destiny. Heaven, I say yes. Let your yes echo louder than your excuses. Let your obedience become your legacy. This is the moment that separates watchers from warriors, dreamers from doers, Wonder is from the anointed. Choose your side. Type ISAYYS in the comments if you're activating your calling today. Blessing code 7707 is now unlocking your next assignment. Now that your yes has been spoken, a divine transaction has begun. One you cannot see, but one that is very real. While you sit, while you breathe, while you wait, heaven is moving. You may not feel the shift, but it has already started. For the Spirit of the Lord says, I have heard your agreement. Now I move on your behalf. This is not just a spiritual stirring. It is a silent exchange taking place in the courts of the unseen realm. Even now, angels are in motion. Even now, the elders before the throne are reviewing the pages of your life. The cry of Michael with the trigger, but your obedience with the currency. And now, what was stolen is being negotiated for return. What was delayed is being brought back into divine alignment. What was buried is being unearthed with holy intent. The scroll of your destiny, the one written before your birth, is being reread aloud. And the heavenly realm is responding. You may not hear the sound, but the sound is there. The rustling of wings, the opening of books, a shifting of timelines, a movement of mantles. The moment you said yes, the enemy lost legal ground to hold what belongs to you. Heaven has stepped in to reclaim what was robbed, but not merely to restore, to redeem and multiply. While you rest, the Spirit is working. There's no striving needed here. Only faith. Only trust. Only stillness. Because what's happening now doesn't need your hands. It needs your agreement. Heaven is now negotiating your recovery. Recovery of time. Recovery of relationships. Recovery of clarity. Recovery of identity. What the enemy tried to dismantle is now being reassembled by divine hands. Line by line. Piece by piece. Day by day. This exchange is holy. And it is happening in silence. Imagine it now. A golden scale in the throne room. On one side, the weight of your warfare, the tears, the losses, the unanswered prayers. On the other side, the promise, the prophecy, the reward. The scaled tips. Not because you fought harder, but because heaven said, enough. And now the scroll is being sealed with your yes engraved in fire. There are voices in that realm speaking on your behalf. Ancestral prayers you didn't know were covering you. Covenant promises whispered by grandmothers who never saw you, but interceded for your future. There is a cloud of witnesses watching this moment, cheering, weeping, worshiping, because your obedience has moved heaven into action. You are not alone in this moment. You are surrounded by the eternal. And while your mind still tries to process, your spirit already knows. This is real. This is now. This is holy. So here is what you must do next. Write down what you want returned. Not out of desperation, but out of authority. Write down the names, the opportunities, the time, the confidence, the clarity. Then release it. Say aloud, I place this in God's hands. I surrender it into the heavenly exchange. And then stop. Don't beg. Don't rehearse the pain. Just let go. What you release in trust, heaven returns in multiplied power. This is not just restoration. This is redemption. and redemption always comes at a cost. But this cost has already been covered by your obedience, your surrender, your yes. Now, see it in your spirit. The scales tipping, the books closing, the ink still fresh, the angels flying, the doors swinging open, the divine signature sealing your request. It is done. It is settled. It is so. Type "I claim my redemption" in the comments if you know this exchange belongs to you. Blessing code 1441 is now written in the scroll with your name. Now that the exchange has taken place in silence, now that the unseen has moved at the sound of your surrender, the next phase begins. Justice. Divine justice. Not human vengeance. Not petty repayment. Not emotional satisfaction. And no, this is justice born from the throne, authored by the judge who sits above every system and every ruler, the God who declares, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay." And when heaven repays, it never repays small. When heaven returns, it always returns with interest. Today, September 20, the day that was nearly forfeited, is being redeemed not just for restoration but for reversal. Yes, reversal. What was said against you is turning back on the speaker. What was stolen from you is returning in multiplied form. What was denied you is now being released with force. And what was used to humiliate you will now become the very platform God uses to exalt you. For too long you were silent while lies spread in the background. For too long you suffered in obedience, wondering if heaven saw the injustice, if God truly kept record of every word, every manipulation, every betrayal. And now, the Spirit says, "I kept it all, and I am moving now." Justice is in motion. Let the ones who misjudged you watch. Let the ones who plotted quietly feel the weight of divine reversal. For what they intended as harm, what they spoke as gossip, what they maneuvered in darkness, it shall return to them sevenfold. Not because you cursed them, not because you retaliated, but because you chose obedience, and obedience always opens the door to justice. Do not touch revenge. Do not engage the enemy on his level. You are not returning to what God has already risen you above. The judgment is not yours to carry. It belongs to the courts of heaven. And justice delayed is not justice denied. The delay was divine timing. Because when God repays, He doesn't just pay you back. He redefines the battlefield. He shifts the entire narrative. He takes what looked like loss and makes it the evidence of His favor. Prepare to see it with your own eyes. Phone calls from people who never thought they'd need to apologize. Messages from those who once mocked you, now asking for your insight. Doors that closed on you suddenly needing your key to open again. These are not fantasy. These are signs of justice being fulfilled. Do not fear the spotlight. It's not for your ego. It's for God's glory. He is about to make you visible in the same place as you were once invisible. What was done in private will be reversed in public. What was whispered in accusation will be answered in vindication. The same mouths that mocked will have to admit, God was with them all along. Declare this aloud now, with all the fire in your spirit. What they meant for evil, God is using for my elevation. What I lost is coming back sevenfold. What was taken is being returned with divine reversal. And do not think this justice is only for things. No, it is for your identity, your reputation, your confidence, your future. Heaven is rebuilding not just what you had, but who you are. Say this now: I am not a victim of delay. I am the product of divine reversal. Let the spirit realm hear it. Let the enemy regret ever touching what belonged to you. You didn't just survive. You stayed silent, and that silence became the evidence that you trusted God's justice over your own hand. The final verdict is in. The reversal is here. The restoration is underway. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if you receive this decree. Blessing code 1221 is now sealing your reversal in heaven's court. September 20. The day that began with silence now ends in victory. The day that nearly slipped away in distraction has now been sealed by obedience. The cry of Archangel Michael was not ignored this time. It was received, answered, obeyed. You have stood still. You have entered the silence. You have declared your yes. You have walked through the 2-minute gate. And now, what was meant to be your most blessed day is no longer delayed. It is delivered. This was not just another word. This was not just another spiritual whisper. This was a divine appointment written in the scrolls long before you arrived here. And though the warnings were many, and though the delays were heavy, grace has still found you. Mercy has still embraced you. The heavens have still opened over you. And your name, yes, your name, is now freshly recorded in this hour of realignment. Now I bless you with the full authority of heaven's declaration. May your steps be steady, your mind clear, and your heart bold. May every seed sown in tears return with laughter. May every delay become a demonstration. May your name be honored in the very realms that tried to erase you. May every promise spoken over your life begin to show fruit in visible form. May angels walk with you, and may peace mark your days from this moment forward. This is not a closing. This is a commissioning. You are not walking away from a message. You are walking into a movement. A divine flow that has now been activated around you. You are seen. You are sealed. You are sent. So what now? Mark this day. Write it down. Celebrate it. Call it holy. This is your spiritual anniversary. A day you will remember every time the enemy tries to lie to you about your identity. A day you will look back on and say, that was the day I said yes. That was the day I took it back. That was the day heaven moved for me. Watch your life in the next 24 to 72 hours. Something will shift. A conversation will happen. A decision will reverse. A door will swing open. A message will arrive. A piece will fall. Don't miss it. Rejoice when it comes, not because it confirms the message, but because it confirms your obedience. Now go forward with fire in your voice and purpose in your steps. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Rise. The gate is open. Return and tell what heaven did. Type I am sealed and sent in the comments if you receive this blessing. Blessing code 999 is now resting upon your destiny. If this message stirred your soul, shifted your path, or reminded you of who you truly are, then don't just walk away. Sow into what stirred you. This isn't about supporting a video. It's about expanding a movement of prophetic clarity and spiritual awakening. There are thousands more who need to hear what you just heard, and your giving makes that possible. God is moving through this platform, and when you give, you become part of the divine wave. Scripture says those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. That word is alive, and it's waiting on your yes through generosity. You can give right now through YouTube's Super Thanks membership, or by sewing directly through PayPal. The link is in the video description below. Your offering isn't just a gift, it's a prophetic act. It speaks even when you say nothing. Let your seed carry the same fire as your faith. Give boldly. Give with purpose. This is holy ground.